What's up, everybody? Just got back from seeing Captain Marvel for the second time, this time in 3D. Just wanted to give my review of it and, a little bit of backstory as well. So, anyways, Captain Marvel, it is, actually, before I get started, because I always wait for the end to do this, but by the time at that point, people might have been turned out. So, give this video a like if you enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe, comment down below. This video is going to be filled with spoilers as well. So by this point, you've probably already seen it. I guess it's only been out for less than a week. So, because I saw it Saturday and then I saw it today. Today's Tuesday. So, most people probably have seen it by now if you're watching this. If not, then this is going to be filled with spoilers. If you don't mind spoilers, then stay tuned. So anyways, Captain Marvel is the story of Carol Danvers, who in Captain Marvel has been both a man and a woman, more recently a woman versus a man. DC Comics also has a Captain Marvel, which is now Shazam. Kind of funny. I don't know if it's a coincidence or just, I don't know, that they are releasing these movies like literally less than barely a month apart. Basically, two Captain Marvel movies a month apart from each other. Two different universes as well. But there was a whole lot of negative publicity about this movie, mostly because of Brie Larson and kind of what she said, but that didn't affect my decision. I was going to say, most people are going to, if you're following the Marvel movies, you're going to see this movie anyways. Especially if you're going to go see Avengers. Like, if you're going to go see Avengers Endgame, you have to see this movie because, I don't know if you necessarily have to, but it definitely gives you a better idea of who Captain Marvel is. She's probably going to be very integral in the movie. And then there's the two end credit scenes, which the very last one isn't super important. Don't necessarily have to stick around for that one. I stuck around for both times when I saw it. And the after the mid-credits scene kind of picks up how, I'm trying to remember if it's at the very end of Avengers or if it's the mid-credit. I think it's probably the mid-credit scene in Infinity War, where Nick Fury, before he gets dusted, has his, basically a pager, which he has a pager in this movie, and she soups it up. And that's how he contacts her, is through this pager that she kind of souped up. So, anyways, yeah, story of Carol Danvers. Movie is set in 1995. So there's a lot of nostalgic songs. You got, TLC Waterfalls. Some Nirvana. You've got, I think, Celebrity Skin by Hole. I can't remember when that song came out, but that was, I guess that's in the credits, so that might, I don't think, because I was going to say, I think that came out after 95. Most of the other music, I'm guessing, is based in 95. I guess I don't know Waterfalls, or I guess I don't know the history of those songs or when they were released. But yeah, it's set in 1995. Nick Fury, they de-aged both Coulson, who is, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and stuff like that. He has just started in the S.H.I.E.L.D. He's like a new recruit. And I guess I don't know how long Nick Fury's been there. I guess I don't think he says exactly how long he's been as part of the S.H.I.E.L.D. or part of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't think they said exactly how long he's been there, but there's probably a cop here. pulling into the alleyway here. No, maybe not. I just feel awkward. People creeping up on me here. I mean, at my house, but they're probably like, why is this guy got his lights on in his truck? Anyways, I have to get good light in here because otherwise it's dark as shit. Anyways, they de-aged both of them. But she basically starts off as, you got the Kree, who is what she is, and you got the Skrull, and you initially think that the Skrull are bad guys. They can basically morph into somebody else. They can basically take the identity of somebody else, talk like them, and the only way to know for sure if it's the real person or a Skrull is they only know like recent memories. So if you got to kind of ask them some old questions, and if they don't know them, then you know for sure that it's a Skrull. But they basically can, if they kidnap you, or they do whatever, hold you hostage, they can. Kind of how, like, what they did with her is they put her in this, and then you see that in the trailer where she's like upside down, and they're basically kind of stealing her memories or gathering information of her just by coming off her memories, and she's kind of forgotten basically everything. She's having these dreams that she's like, okay, who is this lady? I don't know who she is. I don't know who she is to me, but she knows her somehow. And it's damn, I'm horrible remembering fucking names. Dr. Larson was her name. And she basically created this power cell, or basically lights. Yeah, basically kind of this thing that you can do, like fly in light speed. And what she doesn't realize is, she's part of this Star Force, and Jude Law's character, which I don't think they ever say his name, but he does have a name, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Plus, I'm sure that during the credits they said his name too, but I can't remember exactly what his name. I don't know if they ever specifically said what his name was in the movie, but you later find out that Jude Law's character is actually the bad guy. I guess there's not necessarily any bad guys in this movie. There kind of is. In this movie is pretty closely tied to Guardians of the Galaxy as well. In ways where they kind of identify the planets is kind of exactly the same way they did it in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they, say the name and then kind of the coordinates, exactly the same way there. You got Ronan, who was a bad guy in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the guy with like the kind of the big hammer. And then another guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, the black guy who goes, who? If there's a meme who goes, he's like, who? He's in this one as well. And I don't know exactly when Guardians of the Galaxy is set, but that this takes place after Captain Marvel, or Guardians of the Galaxy takes place, I don't even know exactly how far into the future, but I think, quite a few years into the future in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's a couple years into the past, not past, into the future of Captain Marvel. So 95 is Captain Marvel. I would say 2005, 2010. I don't even know exactly. Maybe present day when Guardians of the Galaxy came out in 2013. I'm not exactly sure when that came out. 2013, 2014, that range there. Is probably present time, I'm guessing. But this was, set in 95. You got Blockbuster, Radio Shack, very nostalgic things, posters for Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that. Guns N' Roses t-shirt, Heart t-shirt. They played a Heart song. But yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, anyways, there was a lot of backlash about this movie because she said, oh, I don't care about 40-year-old guys and whatever. I don't really, I kind of read what she kind of said, but it's like, but that wasn't going to stop me from seeing this movie, because I was going to say, I basically have seen every Marvel movie. I kind of missed Iron Man 3, but otherwise, I think I've seen all the other ones for the most part, except for Hulk. I missed the 2 Hulk movies. But yeah, this movie sets up Avengers Endgame quite a bit. So it's like you kind of do have to see it. And you get a lot of backstory on Nick Fury, Coulson somewhat. You kind of find out Nick Fury's backstory about, he used to be in the army, and then he became a SHIELD agent. And then you figure out how he loses his eye, at least in the movie. It is a big, big difference from the comics to the movie. He kind of pussily loses his eye in this movie. Basically, the cat Goose is a Florkin. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but he has tentacles that come out of his mouth, and you don't see that until he basically, they find the Tesseract, and he basically, I guess the cat would be a goose. I guess it would be a boy cat, I'm guessing. Tentacles come out of his mouth and basically eats the Tesseract and kind of keeps it protected throughout the movie. And then the end credit scene is him, or the cat, basically puking it up. But the cat, Goose, basically scratches his eye, and that's why he wears an eye patch now, because of a fucking cat scratch. It's like, that's kind of lame. But I guess I'm trying to get to the main point of the movie here. So anyways, Carol Danvers, she is part of the Star Force. She doesn't realize it until maybe about midway through the movie that when she meets up with something Rambo. Can't remember what her first name was. Miranda Rambo, or her daughter was named Monica. I remember that, but her name was M something, Miranda or something Rambo. Until she meets up with her, and then the Skrulls, they show up and kind of explain to her who she is, who they are, and that Wendy, I think it was her name, Wendy Larson, she was a Skrull as well, and that she was actually working with the Skrulls to protect them. And she was, creating this thing that can basically, this light speed transporter, power cell, whatever, and Captain Marvel ends up like she does, basically because she shoots this power cell, it blows up, and she basically absorbs it. But she's controlled by Jude Law's character with this like chip in her neck, and that basically kind of suppresses it. And so she has her powers. She can use her fists or whatever. She can shoot them whatever from them, but it's not as powerful as it should be because she's got this chip on her neck. And then kind of towards the end of the movie, she figures out that who he is, or I guess she already figured it out. And then while she's kind of talking to this Wendy Larson, who she kind of, basically the Supreme Leader is kind of whoever she remembers. So, that Supreme Leader would be different to somebody else than it would be to her. So she's talking to her, and basically she's like, she goes like Super Saiyan, and she loses the chip, and she goes full Captain Marvel, basically. Through most of the movie, the first part of the movie, or I guess Star Force basically calls her Veers, because when she gets attacked, she, I guess her and Wendy Lawson are basically testing out this ship, and then she gets attacked by the Star Force, and then when they crash, and they crash, whatever, and then Jude Law's character shows up, and that's when she blows up the ship, and she, absorbs the energy or whatever, and that causes, she's wearing dog tags, which, separate, and then, it's starting to rain, shit. Better get inside. So yeah, her dog tags separate, and then what the Star Force, or what Jude Law's character picks up is the very last part where it says, the Vers on Carol Danvers. So she calls them Vers, and that's how she gets the name through most of the movie. You kind of figure that out once you kind of figure out, okay, how she got her powers, is why they, her dog tags blew up, and that's why they call her that. So, I always think of more stuff after I shoot the reviews, but I think, yeah, that's most of it there. I kind of ramble on. I should start somehow writing down stuff, but yeah, I can't go to a movie and write stuff and watch the movie and do all that stuff. So, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It might be an unpopular opinion here, but I thought it was better than Black Panther. Black Panther was definitely not Best Picture worthy. The Oscars that it did win, I can understand those. Like costume design, set design, those I can understand. I can't remember who the other nominees were for that, but I definitely think Captain Marvel was easily better than Black Panther. Now, was it better than Avengers Infinity War? No. Was it better than, in my opinion, Ant-Man and the Wasp? Not really. But yeah, I was gonna say I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I like Ant-Man. I was gonna say I was a little late to getting to Ant-Man and the Wasp, or not Ant-Man and the Wasp, but Ant-Man and the first Ant-Man, and then Winter Soldier. I was kind of behind on that one too, but I had stars at one point, and I caught both of them, and I'm like, damn, these are good movies. So, anyways, before I ramble on too much anymore, I was gonna say this is gonna get to kind of a long review here. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I'm starting to do halves now. 3.5 stars out of 5. It was good. Sets up Endgame very well, and the mid-credits scene is they have the pager that's paging Captain Marvel, which Nick Fury drops when he gets dusted, and I was gonna say, I don't know how long it's basically been paging her, but you see War Machine, Captain America, Romanoff, Bruce Banner. I'm trying to think, was there anybody else? Yeah, I think it was just them. 4 of them. Hulk, Captain America, Romanoff, War Machine. I think, yeah, just those 4. And it stops doing what it was doing, like basically paging her, and they're like, oh, let's do it again. And then Romanoff turns around, and then she's standing there, she's like, where's Fury? So, I think, oh my God, it's only 40 degrees outside, holy shit. I think time is going to play a big part in Endgame, because I think they're going to obviously they're going to turn back time at some point. But yeah, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars out of 5. I enjoyed it. Don't believe the controversy. And this movie isn't going to come out before Endgame. So if you want to know what's going to happen in Endgame and you want to know about Captain Marvel, which she's going to play a pretty big part in Endgame, you got to see this before you see Endgame, obviously. Or depending on when you see Endgame, maybe you'll see Endgame. Maybe you won't see Endgame in theaters. And then the 3D in this wasn't really that great compared to some other Marvel movies. There were parts where I noticed that it was pretty good, but otherwise it was like it didn't really add much to it. And today is $5 movie day, so I only had to pay an extra $2.50 to see it in 3D. But yeah, I wouldn't pay much more than $10 to see this in 3D. It's the 3D, in my opinion, was kind of subpar for this movie. But compared to other Marvel movies, it wasn't as good as some other Marvel movies. But it's if you're gonna see it in 3D if you can. My theater usually plays it like for 1 week in 3D, and then they don't anymore. So. But you don't necessarily have to see it in 3D. But superhero movies are always good in 3D. But even animated movies are good too. I wish I would have seen Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse in 3D, because I heard was actually supposed to be really, really good in 3D. But anyways, I'm rambling on too much. This is going to be a long review. I hate to do that, but this was a video where I kind of had to ramble on for a while. But good movie. Check it out. Don't believe that controversy bullshit. And 3.5 out of 5 stars. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more reviews, more unboxings, more all that good shit. So anyways, later.